Here is why I think that everybody must read Karma, a yogi's guide to finding your highest destiny. This is a topic that I have been fascinated for a long time. And I studied this topic, destiny and fate and things like that. And even have a program on this topic that is helping people in different countries. Currently, people from 6 or 7 countries have attended my program called How to Claim Your Highest Destiny. So this is something that I'm really passionate about. So obviously, I want to bring my unique take on this and why I think everybody should read this book, the latest book by Sadhguru, which is Karma, a yogi's guide to finding your highest destiny, or something to the effect of that, the last part. Okay, so here is the thing. Sadhguru is saying that the way karma is defined today, is absolutely wrong. It is considered today as a curse, as something that people are destined to have or destined to experience. It's predetermined fate. That's how people understand as karma. You did this thing, now you're going to face this. Oh my gosh, that's the philosophy currently. But he was able to bring in a lot of clarity about this topic, and then say that karma is nothing but action and reaction. You take an action, and there is a reaction to that. There is a response to that. So essentially, karma in Sanskrit means that action. Let's call it enlightened action. So it is nothing but enlightened action that will help you find your highest destiny. What a beautiful metaphor he has, especially in the early portions of his book. So karma is nothing but a beautiful way to take action, to take intelligent, enlightened action that would lead you to your highest destiny. That's it. That by itself, that understanding by itself is worth reading the book. So don't try to understand it just from me. You actually go and read the book. It must be available everywhere in the world. Read that. That will actually change the way you look at the world. Now, karma is not a curse, but it's a blessing. It is a blessing for you to find your highest destiny. In order for you to find your highest destiny, you need to take some action. So in other words, you need to take specific steps in order to get there. Speed of implementation. In our brand, we talk about speed of implementation. So which means in order for you to find your highest destiny, you need to take some action. You know that already. At the same time, most people see the world in an opposite way, right? So that is outright phenomenal. Like immediately, you know what? I love it. I love it coming from a thinker, coming from a philosopher. So there are a couple of things that he's saying in the book that basically touch me. And I'm going to explain maybe 1 or 2 sentences here. One of the sentences I'm going to read from here. Partial activities are the karma creators. Beautiful sentence. I loved it. What does that mean? Partial activities are karma creators. Obviously I'm paraphrasing, but essentially the things that you do with half heart are creating karma in you. So what does that mean? It means that your mind is conflicted. Your mind is conflicted. You want to do business, and your mind is like, I don't know. What if I become a bad person? All of a sudden, it is creating conflict in you. Naturally, it's creating another cycle of action taking inside of you. And you need to take more time to come out of it. So which means anything that is split into 2, partial actions. An action that in one way you are to the front and another way you are to the back. Like you are playing both, you are standing in both the boards at the same time, right? And it's going to basically confuse you further. So you are confusing your brain by staying in 2 boards at the same time. One leg is on one small board and another one is in another board, and the boards are going against each other, and you naturally will have a physical problem and a psychological problem because of it. So whatever you do it completely, right? When you're doing something, whatever it is, do it completely as long as it's not hurting people. Okay, so partial actions are karma stimulators. I love that philosophy. That's beautiful explanation. That's beautiful way to look at it. I would call it conflict. he calls it karma. That's perfectly fine. It's beautiful, right? So that's the second. The third thing that I liked is, I mean, there are so many things about this book. I'm just picking a few things that I really loved, okay? And like I said, you should go ahead and read that. Third thing is, mind is the manufacturing unit of karma. Beautiful sentence. Mind is a manufacturing unit of karma. So what does that mean? The mind is conflict by itself. It's an expanded version of the previous sentence. So your mind, the conditioned mind from the past, let's say 1 billion years of evolution, the conditioned mind with the 10,000 years of psychological evolution, the conditioned mind, your own mind, for the 40 years of evolution, 45 years, 30 years, 70 years of your own physical evolution, your own psychological personal evolution. These are all manufacturing conflict in you. It is all manufacturing conflict in you. It's confusing you. It's like somebody said, I should do this. And then you go to church, it says you shouldn't do it. And then somebody else say you should do it. So it's all confusing. Like different people are giving us different messages. Like they are all telling us, oh, let's not copy. I'll give you a specific simple example, silly example. Like in schools, they say don't copy from your student next to you, right? And you shouldn't copy. That's not good. But I'm just telling you for an example. Okay, so if you're in an exam, I'm not recommending that you copy from your student. But when you get out of college, you need to copy in order to succeed in life. What does that mean? If you're a business owner, you need to copy or model from other competitors so that you could read their answer paper, doing market research, and then you create your own answer. So you're essentially not copying, you are kind of using other person's information to create your own destiny. But you're not trained to do that. Your brain is like, no, I shouldn't copy from anybody. You should model them. You should study from it. In reality, everything in life, the way you talk is copying. The way you listen is copying. The way you write is copying. The way you process information is copying. The way you walk is copying. So essentially, everything about human species is copying. But because of the way we are seriously conditioned to not copy from our classrooms, because of that, what happens is we are like, oh my gosh, I cannot copy. Makes sense? It's a conflicting information. Like so if you look at it like in old proverbs, you will see conflicts, right? Look before you leap. This is one thing that you have. Look before you leap. Another one says, one who looks back after he starts an action, he's doomed. It's conflicting information. This conflicting information is creating confusion. So another phenomenal thing, like mind is the manufacturing unit of karma. So the bottom line is, let us have a new look at karma as a speed of implementation that you do, the actions that you do to claim your highest destiny. That metaphor by itself is worthwhile to read that book by Sadhguru, Karma, a yogi's guide to finding your greatest or highest destiny. Go check it out. You'll not be disappointed. You'll learn a lot from it, a new way of thinking. And even if you are from a different culture or different religion, he might have some bias about his culture and things like that. Just ignore that. Learn what you could learn from it, and you're going to be so happy you did that. Okay, so go check it out. Until then, I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you.